Hello, everybody. Welcome to the SEO for Scaling session on how to use keyword stacking to reach your ARR goals faster. Who is with me today? Please, if you can hear me and you can see me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Say hello. Hi, Jordan. Hi, Katie. So everybody, Katie here who just gave a wave in the chat. Hey, Nars. Nice to see you here. Katie is our moderator. She is going to be answering any questions. Hi, Agnes. She's going to be collecting questions. So as we go, please drop your questions in there. I will look from time to time, but I get a little bit distracted with a lot of questions, but we will be keeping the conversation going. She's going to collect all the questions. She'll let me know if I need to answer something on the spot, if it's relevant really to what I'm saying, but there will be some time for Q&A at the end. Yeah, drop your all your questions here in the chat. So I'm really excited to be doing this today. So let's dive in. It's already 6:01 here where I am. So let's get into it. So quick brief about me. We're a small group today. So some of you, we already know each other. I am the CEO of Flying Cat Marketing, which is an SEO agency. We work with scale-ups, SaaS companies most of the time in travel tech and prop tech, and we help them not be so reliant on paid ads and grow organically and build their content strategies out so that we can have some brand awareness and people can discover them online through search and capture the demand that's already there. I won't dive too much into what we do. We're actually today going to be looking at some case studies about SEO and basically how people, hey Vidge, nice to see you here. We are going to be looking at what the secret sauce is, how to actually compete and show up on search. And the key here is low volume, long tail keyword stacking. And I'm going to show you why that helps you actually get high volume of traffic and reach your goals faster. And we're going to have some templates and handouts for you at the end. So please do stick around to receive those, especially if you're here live today. So again, for those who just joined, if you have any questions while we're here live, just drop them in the chat. So before we get into anything here, I just wanted to do a poll and kind of see where everybody's at, just to see what your biggest struggle is with SEO. So go ahead and vote. You should be seeing a poll there now. So some of the issues are, I tried it, I haven't seen the value of it yet. Others are, I just don't know what topics to create. So that might also reflect as we waste a lot of time coming up with topics. I'm sitting here with my CEO trying to figure out what to write. It's taking too long. Another is I get good traffic, but we don't get conversions. So you just don't know what to do with the traffic once it gets to SEO. Others is we're a small team. Can't scale SEO. But you know what? Zapier, that's getting 2 million visits per month, has a team of 5. Buffer, something similar. So that's also something that we can address here in this workshop today. And another, SEO is just taking too long to have an impact. That's an issue a lot of people struggle with. And another thing that we will be addressing in this workshop. So let's dive into it. So what a lot of companies today are doing to get traffic, to get inbound users, they are spending tens of thousands or millions on paid ads. Yet their competitors are outbidding and outranking them. They're seeing a diminishing return on that ad spend. The CPA keeps going up, and a lot of the time, the leads are getting worse and worse, right? Another thing that they're doing is they're creating content, a lot of content, but all that content is not in the top 3 positions. A lot of it is not even on page 1. And you know what happens to click-through rate after page 1, whoop, it goes all the way down. So a lot of that content that you're producing, if it's on page 2 and beyond that, if you don't move it towards at least page 2 or page 1, ideally, well, it's not getting all the traffic that it could get. Another thing that companies are doing is creating content that's just doesn't drive pipeline. The content as a whole, so not just one piece of content, but the content strategy as a whole is not contributing to their business goals. So that's an issue that, then your investment is not really being used correctly, right? Or they just have unscalable means. They're unsure about what to publish. They're spending too much time and team resources coming up with content. And then by the time they've come up with it and decided what they want to write about, trying to outsource that to writers, trying to get them to write what you had in mind, it's a headache trying to manage writers and brief them on what you need in order to execute this vision that you have. And non-scalable means of scaling. So you're relying too much on outbound partnerships, non-strategic word of mouth, or it's the CEO that's actually writing content or trying to come up with what content to write. So all of this is not scalable. Does any of this resonate with what you are doing in your company? In the chat, if anybody wants to drop in. Well, we're going to look at companies. What are companies that are doing SEO right? What is it that's happening with them? So companies that are doing SEO in the way that I'll be covering in this workshop today is they have equal parts paid and organic user acquisition. That means half of their users come from organic, half of their users come from paid. This is ideal. This is what a lot of companies tell me, especially if they're spending quite heavily on paid. They do want to also get users from organic. Organic inbound users tend to be very high quality a lot of the time. So how do you actually get there? Some companies are getting rid of paid entirely. Airbnb last year pretty much completely cut out its performance marketing budget, and it's completely investing now in brand and organic. The companies that I'll be covering today do still have a paid budget because they're just spending that budget elsewhere instead of getting the traffic that they are getting with organic. The thing that happened with Airbnb is because they've invested so heavily in brand. So brand has a huge influence on the success of SEO and the success of organic. For example, Booking and Expedia, they each forked out like $5 billion in marketing in 2019. Most of it that went to Google Ads, but they had no choice because they haven't worked so hard on brand as much as Vrbo and Airbnb has. You don't go on Google and look for an Expedia in Barcelona. You only do that for Airbnb or Vrbo or something like that. So they lack customer loyalty in that sense. So it has to be acquired through paid media over and over again. So the goal as well in organic is to build out your brand and build the brand awareness. Airbnb saw branded search and direct as two of its most important acquisition channels. So another thing that companies who invest in SEO are getting is shorter sales cycles and better leads. And the reason for that is because your leads, who before was a cold audience, who had never heard of you before, and if they see you on a paid ad, then it's going to take a while, especially in B2B, to convert. They need to know you. They need to, whoever they have to convince, any of the other stakeholders, it works much better if they've heard about you as well, if they've already consumed some of your content. So when there are complex sales cycles, multiple decision makers, the more content that you're able to capture organically, the better it's going to be when it's time to close them. So it does shorten the sales cycles. And companies who are doing SEO this way that we're going to break down are outranking competitors that have bigger advertising budgets and higher domain authorities. Jordan says, I'm also a freelancer. Hard to get clients to see the value of building content marketing over time. Some see SEO and content as separate things. That was a struggle that we also faced. They are SEO needs to be content led in order to succeed this way. You can do all the technical SEO that you want, but the technical SEO is just the water that lifts the boat, which is the content, right? So content is really what's driving the SEO strategy forward. Why SEO isn't working for a lot of companies? Well, one big issue is that the keywords that they're trying to rank for are too broad. So when you have too broad of a keyword, that makes it much harder to rank for, because a lot of people are trying to rank for a broad random keyword. It means you're putting a lot of resources into one piece of content or one page, or you're obsessing over this one keyword when there are a lot of other more specific opportunities out there. It also means that if you do end up ranking for this keyword after putting all of your efforts in there and not building any other topical authority, well, your readers aren't very qualified because it's not specific enough. So focusing too much on a broad keyword makes it very hard to build topical authority, which below is one of my points. Topical relevance is very important for your website to be able to rank for keywords that matter. Another issue that people face is random topic ideation. So while there is, of course, always room to be creative, and you should have a creative strategy, relying only on creativity to come up with topics will slow you down. You'll spend hours every month trying to come up with the next topics rather than knowing exactly what you need to be creating for the next entire year. It's important to have a system and filters to put all of your topics through in order to build these topical clusters and build this relevance. Another issue is search intent. So you've come up with a list of keywords. You're so excited about ranking for these keywords. You say, I'm going to build this topic cluster, but you haven't focused on what is the actual search intent of the reader. Does this actually align with what my business wants? For example, I had a client who wanted, I can't tell you the keyword, we're in NDA, but wanted to rank for an alternatives. We do a lot of bottom of the funnel competitor alternatives post. And in this case, the alternative had nothing to do with this business intelligence tool. In fact, it was alternatives for homeopathy, marijuana, something that had nothing to do with the tool, yet it was the name of a competitor. So understanding the search intent of the keyword makes you know whether it's worth it going after that or not. And it's really important to, when you do your keyword research, analyze this for MVPs. Another reason is CRO. You don't have anywhere on the page that allows the visitor to take the next step. SEO is the part of the funnel when they're discovering your brand. And if you don't invite them to take the next step in a way that's appropriate to the place in the buyer funnel that they are, it's not going to do its job. Its job is to take them to the next level. So a lot of websites only will have one call to action, which is, if they have any, which is book a demo with our sales rep. So imagine if you're searching, trying to learn something, trying to educate yourself, and the only option is to book a 30 minutes with the sales rep. A lot of people aren't going to take that because they're not ready for that kind of commitment. On the other end of the spectrum, it's just sign up for our newsletter without any other social proof or without any other suggestion that signing up to my newsletter is going to provide any value for me. So finding some kind of middle ground. SEO can cover all parts of the funnel. Finding some kind of middle ground and a CTA that invites somebody to take the next step in a way that's appropriate and relevant to the blog post and the keyword, that is something that needs to be done. Do keyword research live in front of us. I will show you guys how to do some keyword research, and I'll provide some resources for you. Topical relevance is another thing that pages fail to do and still want to rank. So Google cares about expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. So they want to see that a page is publishing frequently about a topic and the topic that you want to be ranking for. So even if you perfectly optimize a blog post and you have a really high domain authority, you're most likely not going to be ranking for pages unless you have already built some kind of topical authority around it. That's why it's important to not only focus on bottom of the funnel money page keywords, because you need those other supporting topics, things that are going to be maybe converting a lot less. You need to build those pieces out in order to support the money keywords. And I'll show you how these other companies are doing that today. Another reason, publishing velocity. There are companies out there that are publishing so many articles per month, so many pages per month. And if you're trying to rank at not publishing that many a month, 1 per month, 2 per month, it becomes a lot slower to see the results, especially in the way that we're approaching it in this workshop today. It's going to be going for really low volume keywords, and that only gives you a large amount of traffic if you publish a lot of them at a time, a lot of them per month. But the only way that's possible is by having systems, by establishing your content operations and having repeatable frameworks in place that allows you to do this even if you have a small team. Okay. Any questions so far? Have I lost anybody? Are you all engaged and listening here? Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. So let's look at Canva. Canva, everybody knows Canva. It's a $15 billion valuation company. They work for B2C and B2B alike, and they have great organic strategies. So let's take a look at what they're doing. Canva has 55 million active users. 3 million of them are paid. Their strategy is so heavy on organic that a lot of their users are coming through, a lot of their paid users are coming through there, and they really dominate the space on SEO. So what are they doing? They have 13,680 pages with a traffic value of $19 million. So what does that mean? That means with the organic traffic and the cost is calculated by the cost per click if they were to pay for it on Google Ads. So the organic traffic that they're getting from the keywords that they're ranking for is worth $19 million a month. So they do have an ad spend. They don't spend it on those keywords because they get those keywords for free. They spend that ad spend elsewhere. So that's pretty high value of organic traffic right there. If you look at their keyword search volume, meaning how many people are searching for this keyword per month, 93% of it is under 200. Some of them are 10. So, they're investing in very low volume keywords, and they're just having a lot of pages covering it. 83% of their keywords are more than 3 words, which means, again, they're not broad, they're specific. You know the intent of what people are looking for. And they have nearly 5 million internal links. So the internal links are very important because it's connecting all these low volume keywords. It's providing hierarchy and navigating Google and the user through the whole experience. And it's driving the link equity of the top performing pages to all of the other pages. The internal links is what's most important to link all of these pages together. So let's analyze what they've done here. We have canva.com, which is the top page. They have 2 different search intents, create and templates. Create is obviously for somebody who's saying, I want to create a birthday card, for example. I want to create a birthday card. So they search that. The landing page matches the intent of create. It's all designed for somebody who wants to create something. So that way, designer or pseudo designers who want to use Canva, they land on a page that matches the intent. However, once they get there, once they start clicking into the kinds of things they can create, it takes them to the template pages. Then the templates. The template landing page is for the intent of somebody who's looking for a template. So they can look for card templates, for example, even though the create page takes them there as well. So if you go to the template pages has a bunch of different categories. As you can see here in the URLs that they have structured, it'll be canva.com/cards/templates. And then if you click on this page, you'll see all of the different kind of cards that they have. So in the subcategory pages, they'll have cards, templates, congratulations, cards, templates, thank you, cards, templates, happy birthday, whatever. They have a landing page for every single kind of card that you could possibly have a template for. So if I look at this category page, templates, They'll have birthday, thank you, invitation, greeting, save the date, photo. All of these are separate pages on their own, and they're all linking back to card templates pages, all linking back to the main templates pages. So it's all this whole intricate network of pages. And then the internal linking, by the way, it aids in website navigation. It defines the architecture and hierarchy of a website, and it distributes the page authority and ranking power throughout the website. If you look at the kind of keywords that they're trying to rank for, sorry, I'm going to look at that 1 second first. We have over 55 parent pages, so that would be cards, for example, and then up to 78 child pages per parent page. So that's a lot of pages that they're publishing, and they just keep adding them. It's a loop, actually, because they find what kind of templates people are looking for, and they create new pages for that. Again, if you look at the kind of keywords they're trying to rank for example, get well soon template card, this has a volume of 10. So if you are a marketing manager and you tell your CEO, I'm going to invest in building a content piece that has a search volume of 10, well, that doesn't sound very impressive, right? You say, well, 10 people search that. How many of those are going to turn into revenue? But if you stack them up and create all of these different pages, well, suddenly you have an organic traffic of 48.9 million. So you see what they're doing here is just creating all of these different pages, dominating the search engine results page for these easy to rank for pages. More people click on them because they're already at the top, because they're so easy to rank for. More people click on them, it's getting more juice, and they start to rank for more and more keywords. A lot of these pages that they're ranking for, like get well soon template card, it ranks for more than one keyword, because the more that traffic you get for that keyword, the more it starts to rank for other ones. It's just the nature of ranking. Any questions about Canva? For building topical authority, we have to start from short tail keyword. Can we build topical authority on long tail keyword? So topics aren't keyword based. Topics are topic based. So it's actually not looking at the keyword. It's more looking around the topic. So if I want to rank for card templates, which I guess is also a keyword, then the long tail keywords are going to be all the subtopics around it. I don't know if I'm answering your question, Fami, but long tail keywords are a part of building topical authority. You have to focus on all the long tail, very specific kind of keywords. Okay. SEO case study number 2. We have Hubspot. Everybody knows Hubspot. They're the founders of inbound marketing. They've been relied very heavily on publishing and SEO. They've surpassed 100,000 customers and $1 billion in annual recurring revenue. So let's see what they're doing. HubSpot has 11,959 blog pages. If you add up the traffic value for the keywords that they're ranking for, combine it with the cost per click, they're saving $10 million a month in traffic, and they're able to put that ad spend elsewhere because of all these organic pages that they're building. According to SimilarWeb, which is a data platform, free data platform to get some analytics on pages, they have 38% of their traffic's from organic. Again, if we look at the keywords that they're ranking for, 93% of them are under 200 in search volume. So they're also stacking long tail keywords. 85% of their keywords are more than 3 words. So again, we know that they're getting specific. They're not trying to rank for these super broad keywords, which they do end up ranking for anyway. They rank for number 1 for keywords like webinar, which who even knows what the search intent of somebody searching for webinar is, but they rank for really broad keywords as well because of the strategy of trying to focus on these long tail keywords. 30% of the pages they publish make it to the top 3 positions on Google. 46% make it to positions 4 to 11. That means that 76% of the pages that they publish make it to page 1. That's a big deal. That means that they're getting a lot of traffic for all the keywords. The reason that they're all able to get to page 1, well, because HubSpot has insane topical authority because of how much it publishes, but also it publishes so much on long tail keywords that it's much easier to get to page 1. And they have 7 million internal links. So again, they're focusing on publishing a lot, linking everything together, and building these categories and topic clusters. So they aren't as complex in terms of URL structure as Canva is. They have these 5 sections. Sales is 2,395 pages, marketing 5,000, service 775, website is 865, and agency is 1,123 pages. I wanted to show some examples of what kind of topic clusters they're building and what kind of keywords they're using. So in the marketing section, for example, if you want to rank for any kind of marketing articles, well, you want to cover all the kinds of marketing, SEO, Facebook. They really want to rank for everything. Their strategy is dominate all of the topics related to marketing. So they do want to talk a lot about Facebook. So that's a category that they're going to be linking together. The topic cluster here that we're looking at is Facebook, which is a topic in general. So they want to target every single possible angle around Facebook. So they have these keywords: how to download Facebook videos, Facebook cover photo size best practices, unblock someone on Facebook. So I don't know about you, but maybe, but I noticed, you probably noticed as well, that these are really top of the funnel. So not in any way targeting their specific user. How to use Facebook? That could be anybody. So I don't particularly recommend going that far top of the funnel unless you really have that kind of budget to spend, but they're going hard here. And as you can see, they're going for these really long tail kind of keywords, but these pieces are ranking for thousands of other keywords. So as you can see, you'll optimize one page for one keyword. And if you keep doing it and publishing a lot, those pages that were optimized for one keyword ends up ranking for a bunch of other keywords. And the reason for that is A, because of your topical relevance, because you're publishing a lot around that topic. And B, if you're targeting all these long tail keywords, you keep getting clicks, because the faster you get clicks, the faster you can rank from getting these kind of easy keywords, the more Google sees you as a relevant topic, a relevant source for that topic. So I also wanted to look at what are they doing for bottom of the funnel. So HubSpot is a CRM. So how are they trying to rank around the topic of CRM? So if we look at really, really specific keywords, these 4, I always like to use this as well in the strategy X tool for whoever or whatever industry or whatever role or whatever company. So they do this quite heavily. So you see here CRM for real estate, CRM for Outlook, CRM for sales reps, CRM for phones. And you can see that instead of trying to rank just for CRM, they're going really hard on all these specific qualifiers of who this thing is actually for. And as you can see in the search volume here, it's quite low. We have 70, 30, 20. Would you imagine that HubSpot is trying to rank for keywords with only 20 monthly searches? Well, they are, and that's how they have that massive traffic volume. And they just stack this over and over again and keep publishing over and over again with all these separate qualifiers, different little angles, and that helps them rank for the overall topic, covering. That's what SERP, search engine results page domination, is. It's not ranking only for these high volume keywords. It's showing up every single time somebody searches for anything about the topic. That's SERP domination. Any questions about HubSpot? I hope I'm not moving too fast. Give me a thumbs up if you're still with me. Okay, thank you, Jordan. Oh no, Nars gave me a thumbs down. Oh, thank you. Okay, all right. So, sorry. Now we're going to go into Databox, which is, it's fine. I know it was an accident. So Databox is a business intelligence platform, which they provide KPI dashboards, analytics for companies that are trying to connect a bunch of different dashboards and see how they're doing. They have a revenue of $3.7 million. So they're a little bit smaller than HubSpot and Canva. So I think it's a good example for us to look at. They have smaller resources as well. Canva and HubSpot have big teams. So let's see what this looks like with a smaller team. If we look here at SimilarWeb, we can see that 51% of their traffic comes from search. But I also follow their marketing manager, head of marketing, in his Patreon, and he sent this in October, some updates about Databox, and he says 71% of website traffic came from organic search. In the same email, I believe he also said they are publishing 57 articles a month, and that's with a team of about 10 people. Not all of them writers. So a little bit more about Databox. Can we write a single long article or write small articles around main topic? Well, I recommend writing long form articles in general, writing a bunch of long form articles around the topic. Your article shouldn't be thin. It should thoroughly cover the topic and be as comprehensive as possible for every piece that you write. So a bit about Databox. They've got 2,000 customers, 580,000 monthly visitors. Sorry, question from Zahida. How long did it take HubSpot or Canva to get to this level of marketing leadership? Yeah, if you wanted to get to the same amount of content as HubSpot, you'd have to publish 200 articles a month for like 5 years. So I wouldn't recommend trying to be a CRM and compete at the same time as HubSpot. You might have to you could try, but they have chosen to be publishers. So, and Canva as well went really hard, but Canva, I think it took a bit faster because they're really, really good with SEO. And they've also created a bit of an SEO loop, and they're going really hard on off page as well. But it's still worth going for, depending on your industry, and as well as long as there's organic traffic there to capture. So Databox, 580,000 monthly visitors. They're publishing 57 articles a month. Again, 93% of their keywords are under 200 in search volume. 73% of their keywords are more than 3 words. And their traffic value is 100,000, 2,040, 428 per month. They have 180,000 internal links. So they have fewer pages than the other companies that we looked at, but that's normal. They're B2B, so already the search volume is going to be smaller, but they do publish very heavily, and they just haven't been publishing as long as the other companies, but they're doing very well. So I wanted to look at how they actually approach top of the funnel content, for example, but while linking to a money page. So since they are a data analytics tool, they have, for example, the money keyword that they want to rank the most, that they want to get people to go to, is going to be keyword tracking tools. So in order to rank for keyword tracking tools, they have to publish a lot of content around keywords. Fami, yes, this is what I'm explaining, and I hope that it'll become clearer. So for example, Topical Authority, if I want to rank about keyword tracking tools, I'm going to write a lot about keywords. And in this example, they have written about keyword difficulty, how to do keyword research, keyword cannibalization, how to use keyword planner, how to track your keyword rankings in Databox. So this keyword tracking tools article, which is the one that is going to include Databox in the list, it ranks for 828 keywords, and they've optimized it for 1. So this is because they're publishing so much around the topic, as well as they write about SEO and other related topics to keywords, and they manage to drive the traffic and add more keywords as they continue publishing. So the way that they internally link to this keyword is every time they publish another article about keywords or something that's could be relevant, connected to it, they link back to this page. So for example, in how to create a keyword tracking report, just shortly down after the fold, they have this related 23 best keyword tracking tools, and it links back to that main money keyword. In the next one, how to do keyword research, they have 20, again, they're linking to this best keyword tracking tools piece. Fami's question, can we use people also ask section as a subtopic? Sometimes, yeah, sometimes you can write a whole article about a question. Sometimes it works to just include those questions in an FAQ of an article that you write. It depends on the question, kind of how repetitive they are, how much you could write about it. You might be able to group it in with one keyword or create an article of it on its own. So yeah, they keep creating here how to do keyword research. They link again to the best keyword tracking tools. So I also wanted to look at, since they build dashboards and they are trying to attract people who are looking to build dashboards, how they approach the topic of dashboards and how they get people into their funnel who are looking for that. So if we look again, they've done the same thing that HubSpot has done. So instead of just trying to rank for dashboards, they have social media metrics dashboards, lead generation dashboard, marketing dashboard template, SQL server dashboard, et cetera. And this column here on the left, in the middle, out of the number columns, the one on the left is the volume. So you can see again that it's quite low volume, but they're still going for it anyway because it's quite specific. Sales KPI dashboard, that's very specific. It's very easy to understand the search intent of what somebody's looking for, far more than if you were just trying to rank for dashboards. You can just see what the person is looking for by optimizing your piece for those. Again, for KPIs, they want to get people for KPI dashboards, tracking KPIs. So again, they have this 4 qualifier: KPIs for sales, KPIs for sales reps, KPIs for e-commerce, et cetera, et cetera. So they just keep putting these topics through these different qualifiers to generate more and more and more topics so that they can stack these keywords, rank for them quickly, and rank overall for this topic. So what have we learned about in these case studies? Well, one thing that we did note was optimizing a page for one keyword does not mean that page is only going to rank for one keyword. That page, often, the more you keep publishing, it's going to start ranking for more and more keywords. So you're not only stacking it in terms of all the pages that you're publishing, you're stacking them within one page itself. And that is done by optimizing it for one keyword and then continuing to publish for others. For one client, we just optimized a page, one blog post for one keyword. We ended up ranking for 500 others in a very niche B2B space. It ranked for 500 others. Just that one article is saving the client $499 a month in ad spend. So thinking about it this way, how much is this going to save me in ad spend, and stacking all these keywords and working on it organically is really worth doing it this way, stacking, publishing a lot of low volume keywords. These people did not rely only on creative topic ideation. So if your content team is working like a conference room in the Mad Men show, where everybody is sitting around the table and saying, okay, guys, what's the next sexy idea for our publication? You don't really give people a baseline to start with. They have to come up with brand new things each time. And great work is going to be lucky. It's going to come only from the inspiration and nowhere else. So that's not really something that's repeatable, and it's not really something that you can do at scale. So the idea here is to make it really easy for your team to come up with the next great idea. So even if they come up with a lot of great ideas right now, if you're just launching your page, in 2-3 months from now, they're going to be sitting there scratching their heads. So having a framework for coming up with ideas is also really important. So another thing that we see is it's easier to rank the more you publish on a topic. That's just how it works. The more topical authority you are, you build, the easier it's going to be to rank for more and more keywords. They also have systematic internal linking. So having a system for internal linking, for example, in our company, in our agency, every time we publish a piece for a client, we're going to go back and add links to it in their old posts, or we instruct them how to do it. We say, okay, you have to, we've published this piece here. It needs to be connected to the other pages in the category so that we already understand, so that already if that other page is getting indexed and there's a link to it in there, then it's going to re-index the new page a lot faster rather than having to sit around and wait for it. And again, things to note, they have a lot of low volume keywords. They do end up ranking for broader keywords, but they're not only focusing on those broader keywords. And again, this is impossible to do without scalable systems. You need these processes in place. You need to know where everything is at every step in the journey in order to be able to do this at scale. And again, publishing velocity is key. So it's the way, this is called reaching your ARR goals faster. So it could have been called reaching your ARR goals easier in the same amount of time, because you would be going for easier keywords. But if you really want to do it faster, then you have to just publish faster. You'll see that there's so much content that you need to create, and you need to create it at scale in order to reach those goals faster. So there is the debate of quality versus quantity. And I'm going to try to explain more why publishing faster really makes a big difference. So let's say you were trying to rank for these keywords that are only 50 in search volume. You say, okay, I'm going to try to go easy. I'm going to go for these low volume keywords. And this chart, of course, is assuming that you're only going to rank for one keyword, that you make it to number one, that you get all of the sessions for it, that everybody clicks on it. So just assuming in a perfect world, or not a perfect world, because actually you'd end up ranking for more keywords, but I digress. So let's say you say, I'm going to target these articles with 50 monthly search volume. I'm going to publish 4 articles per month. By the end of month 6, you have 1,200 monthly search volume. So if we double this and go to 8 articles a month, by month 4 already, you increase the number of keywords, the number of search volume that you get. Why? Because you've already published so much on that article that your earlier topics start to rank for more keywords, and you're able to capture more competitive keywords because you've already built some topical authority on it. So you're starting to be able to increase the amount of search volume and increase the amount of keywords that each piece is ranking for. So by the end of month 6, in this case, you have 3,600 monthly search volume. If you double that again, by month 4, again, you start being able to, the earlier pieces are ranking for way more keywords already. It's just speeding everything up. And then by the end of month 6, in this case, because you've been able to double and triple and quadruple the amount of search volume that you get from each piece, you have 18,800 keywords. So if you look at a chart, it looks something like this as you increase publishing velocity. This is really how to speed up the results. So if we look at, I know that the debate is quality versus quantity. How can I publish so much while keeping the quality good? And I will always tell you, stick with quality. So quality is the most important, but there are people giving advice out there. They say, well, if you can keep quality, it's okay. You can just start publishing once a month and stay consistent. Yes, consistency is key, but once a month, it's just going to take a long time because you're going to rank for these really easy keywords, and you're just not going to see the needle moving for a long time publishing that slow. So if we look at athletes, for example, if I'm going to go out for a run, I'm not very experienced running, somebody's going to say, well, instead of trying to go really fast, the most important thing that you should do is maintain your form so you don't injure yourself, right? And that's absolutely true. And I will keep just trying to maintain my form. However, it's possible for athletes who have done this, who have training and systems in place, and they know exactly how to move their body the right way, they're able to maintain the quality of their form while increasing the speed to ungodly velocities. So that's what your competitors are doing. They have these systems in place. They're publishing 20, 100 articles a month, and they're able to do it really fast. So just because you're going fast doesn't mean you can't maintain the form and quality. You just need to do that through the systems. So finding your high intent keywords. So Fami, this is what you have been asking me for in this chat, how to do the keyword research. So I do actually have a handout for you, which is doing this long tail keyword research, which you can just go ahead and download that. I should just send it to you there. And there's 3 ways that you can do it. And it's already getting you started, putting you through some filters. I'll also walk you through some here. So for example, if we're trying to build traffic for the keyword email marketing, I'm not going to build a topic that's just email marketing. I'm going to go all around in every type of subtopic that I can cover. So email marketing for artists, for agencies, for authors. For example, I'm also going to put it through these different qualifiers. Every time I write a topic, I want to take the main thing, put it through another qualifier. So if I have email marketing, which is the primary keyword, I put it through a general qualifier, B2C email marketing, for example. If I want to put it through an industry, I can say, well, email marketing for e-commerce. or email marketing for sales reps, for example. Industry could also be who, the person. Or I could put it through a subject, a specific subject about email marketing. So how to segment your email list in MailChimp, for example. You can also put it through other filters, which is the search intent, the reason that people are searching for. So maybe they're trying to get inspired. So it would be 21 examples of email marketing. Or if they're trying to learn how to do something, educate themselves, it's going to be how to set up a trigger-based email campaign. Or they're just trying to execute and do the thing. 5 tools for automated email marketing. So you can see you can just keep putting through this filters. And this is one way to not rely only on your creativity, but actually what other filters can I put this topic through to come up with another topic, another angle to give this topic. So building your SEO content team, you can't do this only with writers. Well, because you have to come up with stuff to tell the writers to do. Writers generally aren't going to come up with a strategy for you. So the team normally is going to look like the head of marketing, who's overseeing the whole strategy. You have the project manager who's handling the logistics, handling the deadlines, making sure the freelancers hand things in on time, making sure that the editor is looking at it on time to publish. We've got the strategist, who's the person coming up with all of these topics. And then we have the editor who's reading through everything, the writers themselves who also write and execute. We have a lot of different roles here that are all really important in the content strategy. If you're a small team, your first hire should be the strategist, the person who comes up with the topic, and they can help you assign it to writers. And even sometimes the smallest team, it's going to be the strategist. They're also going to be the writer. But as you scale, you want to build out a team where everybody has different roles overseeing the operations. Repeatable systems. You need systems for everything. So even hiring writers, coming up with the research, content calendar management. I know we're a bit short on time, so I'm not going to go too deep into each of these, but there should be a system for every step of the content operations journey. Just like marketing operations, which is explaining how your marketing department runs, you should also have these systems for your content operations and creating all of this at scale. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to stay on top of things and maintain the quality at the same time. So to figure out whether your operation is currently scalable, well, you can just ask yourself, is our process scalable? How does the project manager know when something is ready to publish? Has everybody looked through it already? How do the strategist and editor work together? Who's responsible for doing what? So all of these things are really important in order to be able to create all this content at scale. And it's something that you need to have documented that everybody in the team understands and has visibility on. And you could just open your management platform and know exactly where a piece of content is. So that's kind of what ours looks like. This is an example of our ClickUp space where you have one piece of content starting from beginning to end. Everybody knows who's responsible for what at every single stage. It's very clear. And this is something that you need to start documenting, even if you do it simply. If you do really want to be creating content at scale. And the brief, the ultimate brief to make sure that all of the information that you have in here in the strategist's head gets given to the writer. And I've got another gift for you guys. Here you go, a blog post brief. This is the brief that we use for our clients. You'll see that there's a lot of different roles in there. We have the project manager, we have the editor, we have the writer, and everybody has their own checklist, and they go in there and write the outline. And it's just, this is how we make sure that the ideas and the content plan gets written by the writer, and we don't have to do a million revisions because we've been able to communicate exactly to the writer what we need. So if you're trying to create SEO content at scale, take a look at your process, see whether it's scalable. I know that Q3 is coming up, so maybe you're planning this out. If you do need any support, we actually have room for 2 more clients that we're taking on. So if you do want to apply, you can click there, apply to work with us. I hope that this was valuable to you. We love creating this kind of content at scale, providing results for our clients. I would like to open the floor to questions now, if there are any more. What tools would you recommend to track how you're doing and where? We use Ahrefs to track keywords. But one good place that's free is actually just Google Search Console. you can see the performance of all your keywords on Google Search Console directly. And I know, Nars, that you are connected to Google Search Console. Google provides all that data for you. But we do track it on Ahrefs because that helps us see where it's moving, whether the rankings have gone up or down, and it helps us be proactive. Yeah, great. I'm glad that was useful for you, Zahida. Does anybody else have questions, comments? What did you refer to when you mentioned Canva does SEO loops? Oh, so it's, I'm pretty sure it's Canva who does it, but link building loops. But I may, now that I'm saying that, I may have been thinking about Typeform actually, and Giphy does this as well. So basically, for example, Typeform, if you have a Typeform and you don't want to pay for the plan, when you put a Typeform on your website, it adds a link directly to Typeform, so it builds links automatically through the product as well. So it creates this loop. And the SEO loop, actually, now that I remember, that Canva does, is when they start ranking for all these keywords, they can also look on Google Search Console and see the keywords that they are found for, like queries that people find them with. And sometimes it'll be new templates that they haven't yet thought of. So they'll create new templates. For example, if they had a get well soon card, and they found that somebody found that keyword with, like a cancer card or something like that, then they can create a whole new, very specific keyword that way. For Flying Cat Marketing, what percentage of clientele? So for Flying Cat Marketing, we just started doing SEO for ourselves because we've been too busy doing it for clients. The majority of our clients come from LinkedIn currently. Fami, I am confused in finding subtopics. Why don't you try the sheet that I shared with you, and there you'll already, just in the first step, get a bunch of subtopics. You just have to know what main topic you want to rank for. That's all for me. I hope that this was valuable for everybody. Again, if you want to get in touch, you can please find me on LinkedIn, Maiva Cifuentes, or you can find us Flying Cat Marketing. Happy to connect with you all. I'm really glad that you all made it here today. Thanks, Agnes. Thanks, Vij, Nars, Fami, everybody for your questions, and Jordan. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, have a great day. Which tools? I use the tools in the sheet that I provided, Fami, and also Ahrefs and Google itself, and asking people around for subtopics. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you around on the internet. Goodbye.